It's not good to hide your emotions. It's not good to act on them as if it's their fucking law, but it's good to acknowledge them. You know what I'm saying? And to question them. Peace, God and goddesses, and welcome back to my podcast, Conscious Concubine. Hope you've been well. I apologize for how many days has it been since I last posted? I don't know. Life was rough, but in this episode, I will cover the subjects of the importance of boundaries, honest expression. We will touch on subjects of narcissism and empathy, and I do it in a way in which I'm dragging myself practically, but I promise you there's good wisdom in this podcast. But it's a little bit different from my other ones, a little bit more personal. So enjoy. And once again, thanks for watching. So I realize that I have been unauthentic for way too fucking long. And by that I mean, like, I've just been letting myself get interrupted and distracted just to accommodate other people, and it's like not their fault or my fault. It's just the way it is. I don't really like to blame people or anything because it's fucking dumb. I'll explain that later. But I haven't been speaking up when I have something to say, even though normally I do. No matter if my life might be at stake, I always speak my mind. Like, I've spoken my mind in places where, like, people are like, why the fuck? Because it is my truth. I've lost opportunities for speaking my mind. But it's like, I'm not going to pretend to be something that I'm not for nobody. And I always say that because I shouldn't and nobody should. Yet I find myself doing stuff like this in certain situations. I used to do it all the time. Then I was only doing it with, like, narcissists. But then I realized that and I stopped. But then there's this new type of narcissist, covert narcissist, which also I'll talk about later. Later. The point is, I felt there's people that, like, just don't give a fuck about me. And I feel that subconsciously and in my body. So around people like that, I don't feel as comfortable as being myself. Because in my body, I can feel like, oh my God, I don't feel comfortable expressing myself to the full extent here because I won't be appreciated for that here. I have to act a certain way. I have to please this person so that they don't look at me the wrong way, so that they don't think I'm evil just like the rest of them. Even though I'm not, but why do I gotta prove myself to them? Why do I need validation from them? Codependency, bitch. Codependency. Struggled with that for a very long time. Thought I was over it, but guess not, because recently I've been struggling with it again. And there's different ways to struggle with codependency. So it might happen again in a different way that I have not learned from yet. And I'll keep evolving, because as long as we're alive, we're going to keep evolving, upgrading, and updating. Why? Because if computers can do it, so can we. And that's what perfection is done. Because if you ever reached it, what's the point to even be alive at that point? Anywho, I was also giving too much just to be perceived as useful. See, like, codependent people have a lot of narcissistic traits. And at the end of the day, codependent and narcissists all just want to get something. So they give something to get something. Except the difference is that, like, codependent people have empathy and aren't evil. They're just fucking needy and unloved. Just like narcissists. But narcissists want to have it no matter what. And they'll take it. Even if it means hurting your boundaries and disrespecting you and manipulating you and gaslighting you and abusing you, they want what they want no matter what. A codependent person gives up whatever it is, no matter what it is, to get what they want. There's a difference. Narcissists take, codependent give, right? Well, it's still bad. It's still dumb. It's still dumb. But it's okay. I'm not judging, like, myself or anybody. I'm just being realistic. Like, all this time I've been looking in the mirror and being like, oh yeah, everybody else is the problem, not me, because they're narcissists and they treat me like shit. I just want to be loved. But it's like, bitch, how do you expect people to love you or attract love if you don't even love yourself honestly when other people are around you? When you're alone, yeah, you're making art, you're making money, you're chilling. But why you gotta be a lone wolf to do all that? Why is it that every time you go around people, you lose yourself? You lose your sense of self because you completely enmesh yourself in them and you get your happiness from keeping them happy. You get your satisfaction from them being satisfied, but that's not how life works because you still need bodily needs. Bro, I've gone days without eating to satisfy other people. How is that gonna make me happy? And if I'm miserable, obviously everybody around me is miserable, obviously, because narcissists are the most miserable human beings in the planet. But I was giving a lot to be perceived as useful because for a narcissist, no matter how much shit you do, what you do for them, you'll never be enough. There will always be a complaint. Why? Because they like to complain. It has nothing to do with you or your worth. But anyways, I also realized that I was becoming over-involved in other people's problems or difficulties. That hero complex, another sign of fucking codependency, wanting to save others. It is also a sign of entitlement. Because entitlement is not just believing, oh, I'm the best, I deserve everything. No. Entitlement is believing, oh, yeah, I'm the only one who could help that person. So that's why I have to sacrifice myself. Bullshit, denial, lies, and last but not least, entitlement. Thinking that you can save the fucking world when you can't even fucking fix your own problems. Get a grip. And you feel like if you're not literally squeezing the blood out of your eyeballs so that somebody can get entertained, then you're not good enough. Crazy. And by you, I also mean me. Now, not defining and communicating my emotional needs in a relationship. Ding, 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 ding. Just because this is the last one doesn't mean this is the least important one. Why the fuck are you not setting your boundaries from the get-go? Oh, because you feel like that person's not going to respect them? Then why are you becoming friends with somebody who won't respect your boundaries? Why? Because you believe that's the treatment you will get, because subconsciously you got way worse treatment from your parents or whoever raised you or whoever in the past. So this is not as bad, but it's going to get worse because you are not respecting your boundaries. When you let somebody else violate your boundaries, you yourself are violating your boundaries because, believe it or not, you have control of the entire world around you. With this motherfucker right here. That is why we have a fucking ego. It is here to help us, to protect us, but it's also here as a tool that we can use to manifest when we connect it to our higher self, to our soul. When our emotions are aligned with our mind. You see, if you spend too much time in the body, too much time in your emotions, you might make a lot of stupid, dumb fucking mistakes simply for the fact that you believe your fucking emotions are law. Half of them, the emotions we get are just clouds that are passing by. Half the time it's somebody else's energy that just walked into the room, don't even belong to you. That's why we gotta address our fucking emotions, you know what I'm saying? However, if you spend way too much time in our heads thinking that we're always fucking right and ignoring our emotions, we're also gonna be in cahoots with a lot of bullshit. We have to know how we feel. We have to admit how we feel. If not to others, at least to ourselves. Stop living in denial. Know yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Express yourself. Express how you feel. No matter what. Because by being authentic, you're gonna be happy. Yes, it is scary to express yourself when you come from a world where expression was not fucking allowed. Shit, frowned upon. Getting your ass beat for even fucking breathing too loud. I get it. However, we are adults. And if we want to reach happiness and peace of mind, we gotta put in that work. We can't expect to be with somebody who is at that level when we don't want to be at that level. What do we do when we meet people at that level? Either we try to play them and we lose them because they know fucking better, or we hurt them to the point that they realize and walk away from you. And then every time people walk away from you, it just reiterates those insecurities in you that you're not good enough. But it's like, no, bro. You could be, but you're not even fucking trying. You could be, but you're not fucking trying. It's like when people walk up to me and they congratulate me on like pole, and it's like, bro, started doing pole a year ago. A year ago, I know shit about pole. What if I sat here and looked at the bad bitches and like, oh my god, I wish I could be as flexible as them, as well as them, but I'm just not that talented. Bro, you think talent is just something you're born with and you never work at ever again? Are you crazy? The talented artists, they're always making art, they're always expressing themselves, this honest expression. But how do you expect to make this great art when you can't even honestly express your basic emotions? Sheesh. That one hurt me. That one hurt me. I came to that realization just now. So I made a poem about this, about things that I've been going through and how I feel about this. Not even things that I've been going through, but just like a recollection of my entire life that I've been doing during this Mercury retrograde, which ends in 2 days. This is like my most awareness self, I guess you could say, while in pain. Because you can be aware and be in pain. Pain tells us what we don't want so that we go the way that we do want. Whenever we get a little lost, we get hurt and we go the right way. This life is here to help us. Fine, let me just stop talking shit and get down to biz. Let's just take it slow, said the person who didn't want me to let go. Said the person who didn't respect my boundaries if they didn't benefit their own. The person who time and time again cared more about his wants than my own well-being. We're young, let's just have fun, said the friend who had no sense of boundaries as well. None for me or for herself. But either way, shit was the same. I found myself suffocated again. Why are you controlling me, man? Is it your insecurities again? Do you just wish to share the pain? You're aiming that shit the wrong way. At the people who love you even when they're in pain. I betrayed myself. I wasn't authentic all this time, but now I'm ready to liberate myself. To be myself authentically no matter who it hurts. Pain is inevitable, but truth is impenetrable. You say you love me, but that's not love. How can you love me when you haven't met your soul? Disconnected for so long. Distractions on my own, so I don't need you anymore. Thank you for the lessons and the pain that finally kicked off my awakening. For I will be entirely grateful to you and all those who ever hurt me. Including me, man, I'm just saying. Everything I see wrong in you is everything I struggle with too. And sometimes still do. So why is it that when I speak, it feels like I'm judging you? Ain't nobody judging you, boo. I'm just keeping it real because I do love you. I love you for you, but even then, I can't take on what's meant for you. You gotta love yourself first so that you can love everyone else. I put in the work and I deserve to be myself. It's not fair for me to stick around people who bring out the trauma back from hell, loop from hell, endless despair, something's always wrong, always having to complain. To me, nothing is ever right or wrong. It's just the way the world moves on. Life is it's tailor-made for each and one of us. But blinded by the matrix, we think life is against us. And as long as we fight against it, we'll never truly enjoy our stay in this wonderful world. We came here by choice to experience it all. Be grateful you're here because you don't know when you'll be gone. That's my poem. You want people desperately to understand how you feel, yet you don't even know how you feel. We associate boundaries with resistance. A boundary isn't about resisting what we don't want. It's about protecting what you do want. It isn't about being with somebody who's constantly hurting you and pushing against that and trying to make them to change. If they don't want to change, they're not going to change for you or nobody. That's never going to give you peace or happiness. Fighting against what makes you mad. But protecting what makes you happy, and what doesn't or what tries to corrode that, pushing it away. Not keeping it and fighting with it. If you are resistant to something that is unwanted, then you're not in alignment with yourself. And it's not a healthy boundary. It is both unhealthy to resist everything around you and be against the world, but it is also unhealthy to constantly let people trespass over your boundaries. Extremes are fucked up. You have to be in a happy medium. You're not fighting the world, and you're not letting the world fight you. You're just doing you and letting the world come to you. Whatever is not good, you just... And if people get mad, it's not your responsibility to keep people happy. And if you keep trying to do that, you're never gonna be happy. Everybody should be in charge of their own happiness, their own integrity, their own desires, and their own needs. If you ever find yourself taking care of somebody else's happiness, integrity, desire, or needs, you're fucking up. And not just over your own, in general, like, everybody should take care of those 4 things themselves so they can properly exchange conversation with other people, relationships, all that stuff. Before you go out into the world, you gotta get your shit together up here, right here, all aligned, connected, you know? Boundaries that are on either side of the spectrum, either letting people walk all over you or fighting against the entire world, are not boundaries that are there to keep you happy. They're there to keep you protected. An unhealthy boundary is always pushing against the world and telling the world what you can and what you cannot do. But in reality, we don't got control over what the world is or isn't gonna do. And by trying to gain it, we're gonna be miserable, because we shouldn't be trying to control anything. The only thing we ever have control over is what we do or what we don't do. So if you have anybody in your life that's trying to control how you feel, how you talk, how you act, chances are they're not respecting your boundaries and they don't love you. Healthy boundaries will never be as hesitant to nature or the way things are supposed to be. Wu Wei, you know the vibes. Actionless action. The fucking vitality of just letting shit flow. Because like I said before in my poem, life is tailor-made for you. Everything happens for you, not to you. Even if it doesn't feel like it, looks like it, tastes like it, smell like it, feel like it, doesn't fucking matter. It is for you. And when you fight, like literally behind every great blessing, before every great blessing, there is a catalyst of horrible shit happening. Every time. Look back in time and remember a time where you received a good blessing and how fucked up your life was right leading up to that point. So hello, why do we keep resisting things and trying to control things when there's a God, an universe, an angel, whatever the fuck you want to believe in, literally doing shit for you, and you're over there fighting with them? And it's like, bro, I'm literally trying to help you. It's like if the universe is cooking you a meal and you keep kicking the pan on the ground and saying, I'm hungry now. I want it now. I don't like it like that. And he's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Chill. I got you. That's what universe, God is telling you. So if you are the type of person, if you feel like you're the type of person who constantly is like battling against everything and just having to protect yourself against everything and just complaining about stuff and things that are wrong in the world and always just focusing on the cup being half empty, I just want to let you know that you cannot have self-awareness, integrity, or self-love as long as you keep pushing against the world. Now, if you are a codependent, people-pleasing, insecure, love-seeking motherfucker with a lot of empathy, and you keep letting the world define who you are, you're never gonna be happy either. Because you can't depend on what other people are gonna say, because people will never be completely happy with you, especially if they're narcissists. So if you keep trying to get your sense of worth from the outer world, you will always be miserable. You will always be miserable. No matter how many narcissists love bomb you, you won't feel good. So yeah, guys, my advice to you all is start taking responsibility for your problems. Don't take responsibility for somebody else's problems unless is the type of problem where they actually need you and you are not avoiding your own responsibilities, your own needs to help them. As long as you're not killing yourself to help this person, then yeah, we good. It's good to help each other. Don't get me wrong. But it's also like people are always on call for other people, my fellow codependents, because they're like, oh, it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, they can always call 911. Like, if it was really an emergency, like house burning down, getting robbed, getting killed, getting kidnapped, all these things that really put somebody's life in immediate danger are things that the police or the firefighters or a doctor should be there for. You get what I'm saying? So none of these minute requests that these narcissists are asking for you are any emergencies. The only emergency is in your head. Emergency, emergency, emergency. If I don't please this person, I'm gonna break my perfect girl record. Stop. Because those people will never be pleased. It'll be like working super hard to get paid retirement and then just dying the day before. It's never gonna please you. It's never gonna please you. And my advice, again, to everybody is take responsibility for your own shit. Don't expect somebody else to take responsibility for your own shit. Don't be entitled in that way. And don't make yourself be responsible for other people's shit just to avoid your own or to get some sort of satisfaction out of it. Don't do that. 1, get rid of that sense of entitlement, guys. Both sense of entitlement are wrong. You don't deserve for people to do shit for you, and you don't deserve to do shit for others that you do not want. Whether or not your responsibility. Got it? Got it. Also, take some time to uncover the awareness onion. The 3 steps I told you guys about. Know your emotions, admit your emotions, express your emotions. Always. Don't be scared that you're going to lose friendships. Yeah, when you start being yourself and putting up your boundaries, chances are you will lose all your friendships right now because you're a person who don't keep boundaries right now or doesn't respect boundaries right now if you're on the narcissistic end. So, meaning none of your friends right now are really real because boundaries are love. So if boundaries are not being respected or upheld, it's all relationships are under false pretenses. So yeah, it'll be like a tower moment. Everything will fucking collapse the moment you decide to be yourself authentically, no matter what, no matter when, no matter where. But don't be sad because it's like, dude, anything that's for you could never be taken away from you. And anything that's for you and that you truly, truly, truly deserve is across the side of being yourself. It's literally the next step after authentically being yourself. And until you can manage that, you will never reach true success and you will always feel jealous and envy and less than. And you will always be needy because you can't even tolerate your own presence. I mean, you don't even know your own essence. So how could you? But yes, guys, take care of yourselves. My dear narcissists, I know you're in pain. Don't be entitled. Get to know yourselves. Get to love yourself. Be compassionate. Do some shadow work. Don't be scared. Now, my dear empath, your ego is not right and you do deserve love, but you cannot receive it until you give it to yourself first. And just because you've had lots of narcissists that whenever you stood up to them, they walked away from you, or that didn't allow for you to express yourself, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve to express yourself. You do. And just because your emotions were gaslighted does not mean that they were not validated. Even if they weren't validated by them, they are always validated by the universe. The moment you had them, the moment you have an emotion, a boundary was crossed. So it's already validated. All it's waiting for is your love and care. Your forgiveness to yourself. Damn. I didn't deserve that. And I forgive myself for believing that I did and letting myself put up with that. I forgive myself for that. And I forgive them because they're also hurting and they don't know better. We're all here just learning how to put up, keep up, respect, boundaries. You know? We're all learning. So how about we stop judging others and pointing fingers and just do what we can to protect our boundaries, love ourselves so that we can love the world around us and attract more love into our lives instead of focusing on what we don't want, on the actions that we don't like, and on what they're doing wrong. Stop worrying about that. And stop trying to control people to change. If you want to change the world, start with the man or woman or whoever you are in the mirror. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in once more. I would like to apologize for not posting last week and being so late this week. I will be releasing another episode very shortly on jealousy. But until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay aware. Peace, God and goddesses. The conscious concubine, creator of my life, connected to divine, evolving through my spine, healing the world and with my love inspire, follow the guide inside. Hello, welcome to Conscious Concubine. I'm Sonil, and today we're gonna be healing from the inside out. Peace.